So in this video, we are going to learn how to add Zoom meeting registrant on Cognito Form submission. Let's say you have created an online form using Cognito Forms and you have added this form on your website, your landing page or on your ads. Now you want that whenever you receive a new form submission with the same details, you want to add the person as a registrant for your Zoom meeting or your Zoom webinar. So let me tell you, you can completely automate this process. So in this automation, as a new form submission will be received in Cognito Forms with the same form responses, we are going to add that person as a registrant in Zoom over here. Now, if you want to learn how you can set up this complete automation all by yourself, for that, you just have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, this is the form which I've created using Cognito Forms. And in this form, basically, I'm asking for the name, email, phone number, and city from the user. And I've created this form for the registration of my personal finance and investment masterclass. Now I want that whenever a user will enter their details and makes a form submission in this form, I want to add the same user with the same details as a registrant for a meeting or a webinar in my Zoom account over here. So this is the meeting, Manage Personal Finance and Investment. In this meeting, let's say I want to add that user as a registrant. Now for this, I have to connect Cognito Form with Zoom. And for this, we are going to use an automation and integration platform called Pabbly Connect. So as you can see, here we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard. And to reach this dashboard, you will get a free sign-up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can set up your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. After coming to this dashboard, we have to create an automation workflow over here. For that, just click on this Create Workflow button and give this workflow a name. Let's say I would like to name it as Cognito Form to Zoom. After this, let's select the folder of the Pabbly Connect account in which you want to set up this automation and click on Create. And as you click on Create here, you can see the workflow will open in front of us. In this workflow, you can see we have two different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's start with the trigger window. Now the idea here is, first we have to connect our Cognito form with Pabbly Connect in the trigger step, so that whenever we are going to receive a new form submission, a new response using this Cognito form, automatically the form responses will be captured inside Pabbly Connect workflow and this automation workflow will trigger. It will start. Then after that, using this Pabbly Connect automation, we are going to send the details of the same form submission to Zoom and add the details, add the person and our Zoom meeting or Zoom webinar as a registrant. So let's see how it is done. In the trigger window in Choose app, search for Cognito Forms and select it. After selecting Cognito Forms, in trigger event from the drop-down, select the trigger event as new entry. After selecting this trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. And now we have to add this webhook URL into the form which we have created in Cognito Forms. And to add this webhook URL, we have to follow the instructions given below over here. Just copy the webhook URL from here and go to the form which we have created using Cognito Form. After coming to the form, here you can see that under settings, we will see this option of post JSON data to a website. We have to turn this option on, and here on this field of submit entry point, we have to paste this exact same webhook URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect. Just copy it from here and paste it over here. And after pasting this webhook URL, let's click on Save. As we click on Save, we have successfully added this webhook URL in this form which we have created using Cognito Form. Now here in our Pabbly Connect workflow, you can see it is showing us waiting for webhook response. This means Pabbly Connect is waiting to capture some response of a new form submission from Cognito Form. So let's do it. I'll just go to this form, I'll go to Publish section, and we are going to open this form in a new tab. And we are going to make a test form submission, a dummy form submission. Let's see, the name of the person is demo user. This is the email address. And then this is a dummy mobile number which we are going to enter. Now after entering these details, let's enter the city as, for example, Bhopal. Now here we are just going to click on submit, and as we click on submit, here you can see the form submission is done. Just now we have received a new form submission in our Cognito form. And because we have connected this form with Pabbly Connect using the webhook URL, we will see in our Pabbly Connect workflow in this trigger step, we have received the response. So in this response, you can see this is the exact same phone number which we have entered just now while making the form submission. Then after that, here you can see we have the same name, same first name and same last name as well. We'll scroll down further. Here you can see that some other details like the same email address will be received. This is the exact same email address and we'll get the response for the same city as well. This means the automation workflow which we have created, the first step of this automation is completed. We have successfully connected our Cognito form with Pabbly Connect and captured the form response in our Pabbly Connect workflow. Now after this, let's move to step 2. And in step 2, we want to send the same details of the form submission, these form responses to Zoom and add this person as a registrant for our Zoom meeting or Zoom webinar. For that, we will just scroll down, come to this Actions tab, and here in Choose App, we'll search for Zoom and select it. After selecting Zoom, an action event from the drop-down, select the action event as Add Meeting Registrant. Then just click on Connect and select Add New Connection. Now here we have to connect our Zoom account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, click on this Connect with Zoom button. Then after that, here in this pop-up window, we can see that because we have logged into a Zoom account in our browser, Pabbly Connect will detect the same account and make the connection over here. After making the connection, it is asking us for the meeting. So in this dropdown, you can see a list of all the meetings which I have created in my Zoom account. So under my meeting, you can see we have the same meetings and same meetings can be seen inside this dropdown in Pabbly Connect. So out of all of this, for which particular meeting or for which particular webinar, we want to basically add this registrant. So we are going to add the registrant in this meeting named as Manage Personal Finance and Investment. So we are going to select that particular meeting in which we want to add the registrant in this dropdown in our workflow. After selecting the meeting, it is asking us for the email address. So we have received the email address, name, and city of the user of the person from Cognito Forms in the trigger step responses. So here what we have to do from these trigger step responses, one by one, we have to basically send the same details, this form submission responses to this Zoom action step. And to add the responses from the trigger step to the action step, we are going to use a process of mapping. And the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field of email address and in this drop-down, you can see a list of all the responses which we have received from Cognito Forms of a new form submission. Out of all of these responses, select the response of email and it will be mapped over here. After mapping the email address, it is asking us for the first name, so just click here. From the drop-down, select the response of first name and map it. Then we are going to map the response of last name as well. Then here you can see we have also received the response of city from Cognito Forms. So let's map the response of city. So it's the response of city over here. In this way, if you are getting some other details like the address and phone number and all the other details, you can map it. We have received the phone number, so we'll just map the response of phone number in this phone number field. But we haven't received all of the details. The rest of the details like organization, job title, we haven't received all of these details. That's why if you want, we can just ignore these fields for now because these fields are not mandatory, are not required. Then it is asking us purchasing time frame, role in purchase process, and number of employees. So I just want to keep this field blank. So we'll just turn this mapping button on and clear the default response. We are going to turn this button to the on and clear the default response because we want to keep it black over here. After mapping all the informations on the respective fields, what we have to do, we will just scroll down and click on the Save and Send Test Request button. As we click on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see we have received the response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the details of the user which we have mapped over here, the same user, the same person is now added as a registrant in our Zoom meeting. So let's check it. We will just go to a Zoom account and under this meeting, we will go to this registration section. And yes, here you can see that one registrant is added and this is the exact same user, exact same person who's made the form submission in our Cognito form. So here you can see we have the same name and the same email address as well. This means the automation workflow which we have created between Cognito Form and Zoom using Pabbly Connect, this automation is working perfectly fine. After setting up this automation, we are going to test this automation workflow once. For that, I'll just go to the Cognito form which we have created and we are going to make another form submission. Let's say this time the name of the person is test user. This is the email address test@pabblytudes.com. And this is a dummy mobile number. The city is, for example, Delhi. And let's click on submit. And as we click on submit here, you can see another form response is received in Cognito Forms. And as we receive this form submission, we will see instantly within seconds with the same details, this person will be added in our Zoom meeting. So we'll just go back to the Zoom meeting over here, close this and refresh this meeting registration page once. Let's go to registration and yes, here you can see now the registrants are 2. And if we check the list here, you can see test user, the same person with the same email is now added and it is added instantly as we receive the form submission. This means the automation workflow is working perfectly fine and we have tested this automation in real time. So not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications with Pabbly Connect. And one more important thing, you will find the clone link of this exact same automation workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can just clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and start using this automation for free. Also, let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can just do it for absolutely free.
So if this video was helpful to you, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with others, or if you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can always write us in the comment box below or email us at support@pabbly.com. Also, you can post your queries on our forum as well. And if you want to check the pricing of Pabbly Connect, you can visit this link. So this is it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.